That's her wave coolers. I see. So you've worked with them before? Oh, yes, I have. Okay. Is this for the Willow Glen community, or? No, it's for the whole online.
International.
For the whole wide world.
Cal High Sports just ran up and said, "Hey, will you announce this?" I'd like to run a
Okay, so.
So please tell me which level is mine.
So, just walk me through.
No, I put this over here.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be cool, right? Yeah?
What?
Will that work for you?
Yeah, that'll work fine.
Okay, testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
This is me. This is me. I should be hearing myself on this. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Maybe testing. 1,
I hear
2,
you.
3. I don't hear me. You talk.
Testing 1, 2.
Yeah,
Testing.
Wait,
1, 2.
turn that way and talk.
Testing 1, 2.
No, I don't
Testing.
hear him.
Testing 1, 2.
I do not hear him. Go again, Phil.
Testing 1, 2. Testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing. Test. 1, 2.
Testing 1, 2.
I hear you.
Okay. Can you mute your mic?
Testing 1, 2. Testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing. Testing. Test. 1, 2. Testing. Test. 1, 2.
Really low.
Well, nobody at this point. I mean, there wasn't enough time to prepare.
Testing 1, 2. Test. 1, 2. Test. 1, 2. Test. Test. 1, 2.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I thought he was right.
Test. 1, 2. Test. 1, 2. Test. 1, 2. Test.
That's better when you touch that. Yeah, if a little more.
Test.
Yeah,
1, 2.
totally.
Test.
That was it. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Cool. All righty. Now we can hear each other.
Beautiful.
Okay, so they are they're going straight from the national anthem into the game. So if we want to come up before that.
Yeah, we want to do it before that, and then I'll bet right after they do their national anthem. Right when it's done, I'll do that.
So what do you feel like we can talk about here in the open? It's the first game for both teams.
Right. That's what I was trying to think of too, because first game is really.
So I can lead in with how they did last Hello and welcome to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. It's the PlayOnSports.com pregame show live from Campbell, California. I'm Kirsten Fairchilds alongside Philip Kern on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup features the visiting Willow Glen Rams of San Jose taking on the host team, the Westmont Warriors of Campbell. This is the season opener for both teams, Philip, and although a number of schools across the U.S. were in competition, were in action last week, now is the week for Willow Glen and Westmont.
It always seems a little bit disjointed when various schools have their opening weeks at different times, but this is one of those rare times in the season where both teams are on equal footing. They're trying to figure out what they've got, where their strong points are, and really it's a big mystery for both teams, so it'll be interesting to see how they figured out this chess match.
Let's start with the Willow Glen Rams, coached by Oscar Caballero in his fourth year. Last year in the Blossom Valley Athletic League Mount Hamilton division, they were 3-4 in divisional play, went 4-6-1 overall. That tied for fourth place in the league with Independence High School. They reached the playoffs, competed in the Division II of the Central Coast section, lost to South San Francisco. But this team has come to play at Campbell tonight.
No, they definitely have, and of course, anytime you've got a team that's trying to build off of a sub-500 division record, there is no way that they can be content with that. So, yeah, they had the playoff appearance, so that's a nice little capper to the season. But if Coach Caballero has got this team on the same page, they will definitely be looking to get off to a fast start, and so that way they can at least not get into the playoffs by the skin of the teeth, but actually clinch the division.
Willow Glen returns the first-team All-Division center in Jonathan Heinkel. Heinkel, the 5'10", 215-pound senior. He's also the long snapper, and he will be critical for the Rams' success tonight.
Absolutely. Anytime you have a good center, that is the anchor for everything, because you think about what the center does. He makes the calls at the line of scrimmage, points out the coverages, makes sure everybody is on the same page as far as the offensive line, knowing where they're supposed to go. And having something strong like that in the middle is definitely going to make things a whole lot better for their offense.
And Willow Glen runs a spread offense. We'll see a 3-4 on defense over to the Westmont Warriors. Last year went 5-5 overall, 3-4 in the Santa Teresa division of the Blossom Valley Athletic League. Finished in a three-way tie for fourth place with both Mount Pleasant and Branham. Sobrato went 7-0 to win that division. And a lot of question marks for Westmont tonight, Philip, but they returned some players like Matt Salangsang, the junior running back, and the O-lineman Jared Lynch. But a lot will be determined tonight as far as starting roles for the rest of the season.
And I can guarantee you they probably took their cue from Sobrato High School. I wouldn't be surprised if in the locker room they posted a 7-0 banner saying, that's our goal. That's what it took to win the division last year. You would have to think that it's going to take that same effort to do it again.
Westmont has never won a Central Coast section title in football, although they finished second back in 2004 in the medium school division. For Willow Glen, well, their head coach knows that they won a CCS title, just couldn't tell me which year it was. It certainly predated him. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's PlayOnSports.com pregame show. We will be back with a kickoff in just a few minutes. Friday Night Football begins next on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Welcome back to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. Coming to you live from Campbell, California. Kirsten Fairchild's Philip Kern on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Again, tonight's matchup features the Willow Glen Rams taking on the Westmont Warriors, a non-league, non-division play. This is the season opener for both teams. And Philip, the crowd is here. We just had a trumpet solo for the Star Spangled Banner that was exceptional. The marching band for Westmont is here. Both sets of cheerleaders. Everyone's ready for Friday Night Football.
It has all the pageantry of a Friday Night Lights type of game. You've got both crowds here have showed up. Like you said, cheerleaders are here. Marching bands are in full throat, ready to go. Hey, it's the season opener. You can't ask for anything better. And, of course, the weather's absolutely perfect.
Westmont is coached by Eric Buren in his third year. He is assisted by Bill Vines, Lex Alday, Chris Pollard, Jim Marquez, and Michael Alexander. Getting the start at quarterback tonight, the 6'3", 170-pound junior Trevor Flint. For this pro set offense, Westmont runs the pro set on defense. They run a 4-3 or a 5-2. And a lot riding on the shoulders of Flint this evening.
Absolutely. Anytime you have a pro-style offense, you always ask more of a quarterback than your traditional high school offense. Usually you'd see the wing tee or some variation of it. With a pro-style offense, you're asking the quarterback to do a lot. Maybe make some audibles at the line of scrimmage, point out some things in the coverage. It really is it really places a lot of responsibility on the quarterback. So the coach is entrusting him with a lot as far as carrying out the game plan.
Willow Glen wins the toss. They want the ball right away. They will receive, and that will have an opportunity for everyone here at the stadium to see Matthew Toscano, the 5'9", 190-pound junior. Toscano, a junior, but already in his second year of varsity ball.
And it really speaks to somebody's athletic prowess when you're a junior and already in your second year at varsity level, because typically you wouldn't experience your first year of varsity until your junior year. That's usually how the standard track would go. But to make it onto varsity as a sophomore really speaks to his ability, and most importantly, really establishes himself as a leader on this team too.
That's right, a wide receiver last year, a quarterback this year. Westmont wearing their home black uniforms, red piping with white numbers, right to left, kicking off right to left in front of us in the press box here at Westmont Stadium. And Willow Glen in their traveling white jerseys, red pants with yellow piping, red and yellow helmets, red numbers. And Westmont kicking it off, Keanu Phillips, the 5'9", 165-pound senior. Not only will we see him kicking off, he will be one of the kick return men. And right away, the whistles blow here at the stadium. Our referee tonight, Dave Fink. Our umpires, Steve Stearns, head linesman Darlene Gomez, line judge Steve Olson, and our back judge, A.J. Sandoro. Westmont kicks it away. Fielded at the 9, coming straight up the field at the 25, cutting to his left on the far sideline. He's at the 35, at the 40, finally driven out of bounds at the 45. The Willow Glen Rams will go to work in excellent field position.
Very rare do you see the starting quarterback also returning kicks, and Toscano doing exactly that. So really helping his own cause to give Willow Glen good starting field position right at their own 40-yard line.
Okay, Toscano again. This is a spread offense. Willow Glen left to right. High school football, 12-minute, 4 quarters of play. And they're still looking to spot the ball. The chains on the far side, obviously from the press box, and waiting for the spot. And it looks like it'll be placed at the 42. Toscano. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Man next to him in the backfield, out of the shotgun. And right away, it looks like Westmont was drawn offsides, penalty markers thrown.
It's a perfect situation. If you can get an easy 5 yards on your first play, you don't even have to run any part of your offense. Very, very nice use of the hard count by Toscano.
5-yard penalty against the Warriors. That'll bring up 1st and 5 from the 47 for Willow Glen.
Of course, that was Kyle Burge jumping offsides on that penalty.
Same formation for Toscano. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left, out of the shotgun. Toscano, inside handoff, breaking around the far side. The running back pickup of about 1. So good defense by the Warriors as Tyler Howe, the 6', 190-pound senior running back, getting his number called early.
Great pursuit by Zach Lytle to really chase down the running back on that sweep to the outside. And that's one of the strange things about the spread offense. Because they can throw so many different looks at you, they're trying to spread out your personnel, trying to create running lanes, but very, very nice pursuit by Lytle just to make sure that he wraps up the runner.
Ball spotted at the Willow Glen 49 on the near hash mark. 2nd and 3 for the Rams. Toscano, same formation, sends a man in motion. It's Hakeem Mays. Handoff to Mays, cutting around the left side and brought down, perhaps 1 yard gain on the play. Hakeem Mays, the 5'11", 170-pound sophomore. He's one to watch.
Absolutely, and of course a nice tackle there by Jacob Good, hardly letting him get even past the line of scrimmage. This Westmont defense really showing some good pursuits so far, and that's even giving Willow Glen at those 5 early yards.
Maybe a half-yard gain on the play. 3rd and a long 3 for Willow Glen. 2 receivers outright, same formation once again. Out of the shotgun, it's Toscano, puts it on his hip, coming around the far side, coming around the near side, 1st down yardage and more, and pushed out of bounds near the Westmont 45. 1st down, Rams.
And that's a good play and good heads up by Toscano right there, because when you're running those rollout plays, you want to make the defense sit back on their heels. So you hold the ball like you're about to throw, you're trying to make your reads, and at the last second take off. By then it's too late. You've already created enough pocket necessary to get that 1st down.
So Willow Glen showing this spread offense, really spreading the field, but we've seen 3 consecutive run plays. 2 receivers out left for Toscano and company. 1st and 10 from the Westmont 44. Man in motion, running far too near. Toscano looking to throw. Quick out pass caught, and diving forward for more yardage is Jack Hutchings, the 6', 170-pound junior. And that healthy gain for the Rams.
Absolutely, and of course it's really just trying to figure out what the rhythm is going to be. Of course we've seen the 3 run plays already. Just a nice little quick slant right there to Hutchings, and of course a nice healthy gain. 2nd and short, you always love those situations.
Ball spotted at the 36. 2nd and 2 for Willow Glen. So 1 for 1 for Toscano, and also ran for a 1st down. 2 in the backfield. Split receivers. Inside handoff to Mays. Mays, 1st down yardage and more. So after some short distance runs, and yes, they're going to say 1st down, Philip, just waiting for that verification from our referee. So Westmont doing a good job on the 1st set of downs with limiting Willow Glen to yardage, short yardage.
Oh, absolutely. But of course, you have to give credit to Hakeem Mays. Didn't really have much of a blocking lane to go through. Really had to get those yards himself.
1st and 10 from the 34. Toscano rolling out to his left, has a receiver caught out to the left. It's Andrew Mahia, the 6', 200-pound senior tight end, and he just got drilled at the end of that play.
He did, and of course, a good bounce of fortune, because that was a fumble on that play after he got hit, so he's very thankful it rolled out of bounds. And unfortunately, didn't really gain much in the way of yardage, but that play could have ended up a whole lot worse.
Stays 2nd and 10. Willow Glen competes in the Mount Hamilton division of the Blossom Valley Athletic League. That is considered the A League, if you will. 2 receivers out right for Toscano. Sends Mays in motion, near side to far side. Toscano looking throw, has a screen pass, caught on the far side and still on his feet, rumbling toward the 1st down marker is Tyler Howe. That's some great second effort by Howe.
And this is what makes the spread offense so dynamic. You have all these different moving parts. There's so many different ways you can attack. But so far, what Willow Glen is doing, they're doing the dink and dunk. They're trying to lull Westmont in, trying to make them creep up towards the line of scrimmage. And, of course, that's going to be another 1st down for Willow Glen. But really, they're in the part of the field where they really don't need to throw the deep ball. But this is just the early part of the game plan, trying to get them to not expose a little too much, just kind of show them a little bit of what they plan to do, but save the big plays for when you've got them where you want them.
8:45 left to go in the 1st quarter. No score, but the Willow Glen Rams on the move with their 1st possession. 1st and 10 for the Rams from the Westmont 23. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Toscano again, a man next to him in the backfield. Out of the shotgun as he's done all night. Quick throw, high, but caught by Mays. Mays gets dragged by the jersey down to around the 15, and on the tackle, Michael Nadeau, the 5'7", 145 senior DB.
And that's the kind of matchup that you want when you run that spread offense. I mean, there you see right there, Hakeem Mays lined up with Jacob Good, who's normally a linebacker, and if you get a linebacker lined up on a receiver, that's a mismatch waiting to happen. That's exactly what Willow Glen wanted. Toscano saw the mismatch and went right for it.
2nd and 1. Willow Glen in the huddle. They break. Toscano running back on either side, split receivers. On the near side, it's Jack Hutchings. Toscano fakes the hand off, look to get it away on the option, and as he went down, it looked like he was trying to pitch the ball or down the ball. We'll have to wait to see how this gets sorted out. I think they're going to say he was down, Philip.
Yeah,
I think very risky.
Yeah, I think he was, and like you said, very, very risky. I mean, if the quarterback is feeling himself being pulled down, you don't need to try to do anything. Just hold on to the ball, save it for another possession. He was gonna have a 3rd and 1 anyway, so it wasn't as if it was an impossible drive. But sometimes, first game of the season, you still got those butterflies going through. You're trying to do a little too much, and that's twice now on this drive that Willow Glen has averted disaster.
3rd and 1 from the 19 for Willow Glen. 6:55 left to go in the first. 0-0 the score here at Westmont High School in Campbell. Same formation for the Rams. Let's see what the play call. Toscano with the handoff to Mays. Mays gets wrapped up in a hurry. It is the 200-pound 6-footer, the junior linebacker, Sam Sadian with the tackle.
And pretty much went in completely unblocked. Just went right through the line of scrimmage, disrupted that whole play, never let Willow Glen get set up into what they wanted to do. Very nice pursuit.
Toscano under center, 4th and 2. A loss on the play, and that's going to be false start on Willow Glen, and that should bring out either the punt unit. Well, we'll see if they may still go for it.
They may still go for it, but unfortunately, I think that's one of those ill-timed penalties that they wish they hadn't had, because they go from a 4th and short now to an even 4th and somewhat long, and I don't know what their kicking game is going to be like, but obviously they're not really too confident in it quite yet, so they're having to go for it right now.
Personnel still coming on the field late, and it looks like they are going to go for it. Are going to go for a field goal.
Okay.
Jose Gomez, who has a range in the mid-30s, will kick a field goal, and this one gets off, and it's good. Philip, it looked like it was going to go left. It was going to be short, but Gomez delivers with the 36-yard field goal, 3-0 Willow Glen.
And everything from a last-second change on the fly, and I thought the same thing on the kick. It was going to be too far to the left and a bit short, but it just barely grazes the crossbar. So very, very fortunate turn of events, and of course Willow Glen had a couple mistakes early on. Of course, it's probably early season jitters. They're probably still trying to get their offensive game plan figured out, but you got to actually give credit to some of this Westmont defense. They made a couple nice plays right when they needed to, but of course you'll have to wonder what would have happened had Willow Glen not committed that penalty on the 4th and short.
Gomez, the 5'8", 140-pound senior, also plays soccer, and his head coach told me before the game his range, well, I don't know, mid-30s, and here he comes through with the 36-yarder, and he tees it up at the 40. 5:47 left to go in the first. Willow Glen up 3-0. A chewed up quite a bit nice clock. A good series all the same. I'm sure they were disappointed to come away with just 3. Kirsten Fairchilds, Philip Kern bringing you the action on PlayOnSports.com. Thank you so much for joining us as Gomez kicks it off left to right here at Westmont High. Short kick taken at the 10, straight up the middle, and the tackle is made, so not much room for Keanu Phillips to run, the ball carrier, as Westmont will go to work on offense. Westmont, again, a pro set offense, and the starting quarterback, Trevor Flint. We'll also see Tommy Lee, the 5'4", 150-pound junior running back, in action tonight.
And I'm really interested to see what kind of wrinkles they're going to bring in on this pro-style offense, because it's gotten to the point now with offensive game plans. Pro style is not really pro style cut and dry. Everyone's putting in their own little wrinkles, their own little touches, just to kind of differentiate it from the rest of the pack. So I'm going to be interested to see what Westmont does here.
Actually, Ricky Ariano, the 5'7", 155-pound senior in the backfield as Flint under center. Flint dropping back, pass, caught, and just like that, Westmont gets its offense rolling. So a bit of surprise in some ways coming out. Kyle Birch, the 6', 290-pound junior tight end with the catch, an 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2 for Westmont from the 27-yard line.
Nice catch in traffic, too. Very good hands.
2 receivers out right for Flint. 1 in the backfield, sends a man in motion. It looks like a problem with the exchange. Flint picks it up and gets it off to his running back in time, but he had to pick that up off the ground. Very little gain on the play, possibly a loss.
And again, this is kind of one of those things they have to iron out early on. The exchange between the center and the quarterback. That's where a lot of problems can occur if that is not crisp, it's not clean, and you're seeing it right there. Willow Glen just had to eat them right there at the line of scrimmage, and really not much they can do.
Lee, the ball carrier, with no gain on the play. Willow Glen, a 3-4 defense. As Flint goes to work once again. 3rd and 2 for the Warriors. Flint rolling out to his left. Still on the run, puts it on his hip and tackled out of bounds, but that is a 1st down. So Flint gets the job done, calls his own number, and Westmont has its first earned first down of the season.
There you go. Now that was a nice little run by Trevor Flint, but I'm wondering if he even saw Sean Marsland. He was really open right in traffic. I'm just not sure if Flint maybe just past line of scrimmage, couldn't get the throw off, but either way, 1st down's a 1st down.
1st and 10 from the 30. Flint once again under center, 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Flint looking to throw. Pressure coming from Willow Glen, gets it off, throws in traffic, and it looks like the intended receiver, Josh Branch, kind of lost the ball in this setting sun here. The lights coming on. Getting darker by the moment, but Branch either got turned around, certainly was well defended, and I think Westmont was lucky to get away with just an incompletion.
Absolutely, and I was looking at the pressure that was coming up on Trevor Flint. I'm not sure if that was designed or if there was some breakdown in the coverage up front, but either way, Flint had the presence of mind just to get it off quickly.
2nd and 10 from the 30, I formation for Westmont. And the handoff, breaking around the right side, trying to turn the corner. And the Willow Glen defense was there to cover.
Excellent pursuit by that Rams defense. And, of course, Tommy Lee was he was getting those legs moving. He was moving around to the outside. I thought, this could be a chance for him to break one. Willow Glen was having nothing with it. And that's the advantage of a 3-4 defense. A lot of your big playmakers are going to be at the linebacker position. They had the sideline-to-sideline pursuit. They can track down plays like that.
No gain on the play as Lee, the ball carrier, nothing doing. 3rd and 10, 3:30 left to go in the first. Westmont driving, but has it stalled. They trail 3-0 to Willow Glen in non-divisional play. Toscano looking for a quick strike. Screen pass caught. And then a huge hit delivered by Tyler Howe. We called his name on offense, then he comes through on defense. So Lee just gets drilled, and that will bring out the punt team, and handling the punt duties for Westmont, Sean Marsland, the 5'11", 180-pound senior.
And unfortunately, not this is anything against Tommy Lee, but he makes Tyler Howe look like a giant right there. But there was something I was noticing there as the play was developing. It was as if Trevor Flint had already locked eyes on his primary receiver. Maybe he telegraphed that pass a little bit. Willow Glen picked up on it.
Marsland around his 18. Willow Glen with 2 men at the 42. And Marsland sends it to the 34, caught, taken, crossing midfield at the 40, penalty marker thrown. Willow Glen's return man, Toscano, the quarterback, with Big return, but I think this is going to get called back.
It might be, and it's very, very unfortunate. Toscano read his blocks very, very nicely and just took it up the sideline and was going to give Willow Glen great field position. But like you said, I think this one's coming back, and it sure is.
Holding against the Rams. Toscano is doing everything but running the snack shack here at Westmont, which I don't think they would allow him to anyways. The Westmont boosters, they certainly do a good enough job at that. Folks, if you ever make it to Westmont High in Campbell, you'll be treated to one of the best snack shacks around, as our entire crew can attest to. 2:24 left to go in the first. Kirsten Fairchilds, Philip Kern. You're listening to PlayOnSports.com. It's 1st and 10 for Willow Glen. Now, after the holding penalty, ball will be spotted at the 40.
It was as if the punt return never happened, essentially. It was basically right around where Toscano fielded the punt in the first place.
Yeah, about a 4-yard gain. I think that punt by Marsland caught everyone off guard. They were expecting a short punt.
It was a very impressive punt.
Very nice. 3 receivers out left for the Rams. Toscano out of the shotgun. Man comes in motion. The handoff coming through the right side. It is Mays. Mays still on his feet, dragging defenders and reaching midfield. What an effort.
And that second effort right there, even while Richie Gutierrez was hanging on to him for dear life, a great second effort there to get to churn those extra yards out. But again, this is what you're seeing here. Along the outside sweep, you saw the 3 receivers stacked to the far side, and then you see Mays coming through, gets the sweep around, and then he just follows his blockers. And that's always the best part. If you're a runner and you've got your blocking lanes all figured out, you get to the second level of the defense very early, it makes your job a lot easier.
9-yard gain for Mays. 2nd and 1 at Willow Glen's 49. Mays, again, a sophomore, the 5'11", 170-pounder. Out of the shotgun again, it's Toscano rolling to his left, cutting back inside, gets his jersey held, and maybe a hard-earned 2 yards on the play. Good coverage by the Westmont defense.
Looks like that was more of a designed run. He was just sitting back into the pocket just to see what kind of lanes would open up. But
Toscano is down, holding his hand, now back up on his feet, but holding his hand. And as I mentioned, all the duties that he does, I'm sure the coaching staff very nervous over on the Willow Glen sideline.
Especially with that being his throwing hand. That's never a good sign at all.
He's going to stay in, however. Gets the play. Minute 14 left to go in the first quarter as Willow Glen into Westmont territory on the Toscano run. Earned a first down, fresh set of downs. And the handoff to the big guy, and a nice run by Josh Landers, another sophomore, the 5'11", 180-pounder. Also sees time at wide receiver tonight. So Willow Glen has some weapons in its arsenal.
They really do, and of course, I was amazed to see how easy those 5 yards were. It was as if he got to the second level before anybody even touched him. And again, that's great blocking by Willow Glen. Anytime they can clear out that first level, and it opens up a whole bunch of possibilities, because anytime you get a running back on a linebacker in the open field, that can cause some problems.
Less than 30 seconds to go here in the first. 2nd and 6 from the Westmont 45. Toscano with the handoff. Gives it right back to Landers. This time Tyler Howe, and Howe with some great size. As the clock stopped with 10 seconds remaining, another first down for Willow Glen on the field. The running game has proved successful for Willow Glen tonight.
So far it has, and nearly averted disaster there. He ran into Joseph Calfusi as he was going to the outside, but was able to dance around it, and we will go to the end of the first quarter.
1 quarter is in the books. Willow Glen leads Westmont 3-0 here at Westmont High School in Campbell, California.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Kirsten Fairchilds, Philip Kern, delighted to bring you the action on Friday night football. A great atmosphere here at Westmont High School in Campbell, California, part of the Blossom Valley Athletic League. There are 3 divisions in the BVAL, Philip, and we've got 2 teams, one from the A League, if you will, the Mount Hamilton division in Willow Glen, and then we've got Westmont, part of the Santa Teresa division.
And absolutely, and of course, when you get teams like this in a situation where it's not really league play yet. That's why they reserve the first 3 games for scheduling who they want to before they get into division play. This is a really good chance to see where they stack up, and especially for the lower division team playing the higher division team, there's a little bit more at stake. They want to prove that little brother can hang with the big brother, essentially. So, of course, with the A division, Mount Hamilton, it's always got the prestige, and the B division, it's kind of overlooked in some ways, but this is a good chance for, as far as the preseason goes, to have those kind of matches, just to kind of see where they're at.
Westmont in their home black uniforms with red piping and white numbers. On defense, trailing 3-0 to the visiting Willow Glen Rams. 3 receivers stacked up on the left side. Matthew Toscano, the quarterback. Toscano rolls to his left. Pressure coming from Westmont. Gets the throw away, and in traffic again, another sketchy pass, if you will. That was certainly an interceptable ball, but Toscano was just trying to get it away.
No, absolutely. He had to avert the pressure, and of course, when you're throwing to your weak side, and of course, a right-handed quarterback throwing while moving to his left, it always creates a very interesting situation. But of course, Hutchings was right in between 2 Westmont defenders. Throws in traffic, though, that one was very dangerous.
Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 35. Willow Glen drove the field in its first possession, but had to settle for a 36-yard field goal, which proved to be a nice spark for the fans from Willow Glen High School, located in San Jose. Same formation for Toscano. The quick screen play, Mays caught, and Westmont doing a very good job on defense. Once again, Andre Simpson, the 5'9", 160-pound senior DB with the tackle.
No defense. That play, they were not fooled by the moving parts. And of course, give credit to Simpson, dissecting the play, figuring out where they were going to go, and just went full bore for the ball carrier. And Westmont's had some very nice defensive plays. I mean, Willow Glen has gained chunks at a time, but Westmont has made some key plays on their own as well.
Well, and that tackle for a loss brings up 3rd and 12 for the 37 for Willow Glen. See if they go to the run here, 3rd and long, or if Toscano is going to look more downfield. We've seen a few opportunities tonight, and we have a timeout. Timeout called by Willow Glen. Head coach Oscar Caballero wants to talk it over. 11:06 left to go in the first half. Willow Glen leads Westmont 3-0.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Alongside Philip Kern, I'm Kirsten Fairchilds. Thank you for joining us this evening. Westmont Junior Varsity successful here at home with a 23-6 win over Willow Glen. And the varsity has to be pleased with its defensive effort tonight, although they're trailing 3-0. I would think they're somewhat satisfied with this play early on.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're the Westmont coaching staff, you'd have to be very pleased because while Willow Glen's been able to move the ball methodically so far, they've made the big plays when they need to. They've kept them out of the end zone, which is very, very important. They keep them out of the end zone here again. That'll give their offense maybe a little extra momentum to finally put together a drive of their own.
3rd and 12 for Willow Glen. 3 receivers out right for Toscano. Toscano puts it on his hip, runs it up the middle. First down yardage and more. Toscano has proved more successful with his feet tonight than his arm thus far. First down, Willow Glen.
And another designed run, but you see what happened. Toscano drops back like he's going to throw, gets the Warrior defense on their heels. Finally, when he sees a running lane he likes, he takes off, did a little nice fancy footwork going towards the near sideline, and gets another first down for this Rams offense, who really, and you mentioned it too, they've been more effective on the ground rather than in the air, which is really kind of interesting so far.
Yes, we've seen some great runs, or some nice runs at least, by Josh Landers and Hakeem Mays, the super softs for this Willow Glen squad. 1st and 10 from the Warriors 22 for the Rams. 2 receivers out right for Toscano. Sends a man in motion. Near to far, Toscano looking for the quick strike. Has the screen pass. And the man who went in motion, the slot receiver, Jack Hutchings, with the catch. So Willow Glen, not a lot of north-south receptions, more east-west, but that one definitely north-south, although not too huge of a yardage gain, only 5 on the play.
No, absolutely. And, of course, something like that, you see what Willow Glen was trying to do, trying to get all these guys in motion, the moving parts, trying to make Westmont adjust on the fly. And really, again, Westmont making some nice plays. They have some very nice playmakers there. They're really closing in on the pursuit of the ball carrier.
3 receivers out left for Toscano. Mays in motion. Mays on the handoff, coming around the right side, cutting back inside, close to the first down marker. We'll have to wait for the signal.
Now, this is something that Willow Glen has got to guard against, because what I'm noticing here is they're starting to become a little bit predictable, because you can always tell who the ball carrier is going to be by the guy they send in motion. And they do that enough times, Westmont's going to pick up on that, and they're not going to be fooling anybody. So Willow Glen's got to try to throw in a few different wrinkles just to keep the Westmont defense on their heels, because once they start going on the balls of their feet, right at the line of scrimmage, they can anticipate what you're going to do. There's really nothing your offensive line can, because you need to try to mix up the looks here.
The Rams do pick up the first down. 1st and 10 from the 12 for Willow Glen. So now heading in this direction, Willow Glen seems to be playing downfield, picking up steam. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left for Toscano. Stayed out of the shotgun tonight. Toscano across the middle, wide open, touchdown Willow Glen. Andrew Mahia for the 12-yard touchdown score, 9-0 Willow Glen.
Just escaped untouched. And I think Westmont was trying to gamble there by sending the all-out blitz. And, of course, Andrew Mejia just went right through, just slipped out of the coverage, and all Toscano needed to do was take one look, and he was right there. Beautifully placed ball, and there you have it.
The extra point attempt is good by Gomez. 10-0 Willow Glen over Westmont. 8:58 left to go in the half. The prettiest pass play of the night. Mahia wide open.
No, I think you could probably just have set up shop there for a couple of days. I mean, there was just nobody around him. And again, that's the kind of risk you take when you send an all-out blitz like that. I mean, they're trying to push him back towards possibly trying to push him out of field goal range, but you leave one guy uncovered and the quarterback finds him, even in the midst of pressure, it creates all sorts of problems. And there you saw right there, Mejia just sitting right there, right around where some of the soccer lines were painted, just saying, hey, I'm over here.
Tommy Lee back on kick return for Westmont. The Warriors trailing 10-0. First half action on their home field in Campbell, California. Just a blink of an eye, a thread of a hair away from San Jose, California, very close to Saratoga as well. And a beautiful evening for high school football. Alongside Philip Kern, I'm Kirsten Fairchild. You're listening and watching PlayOnSports.com as Jose Gomez kicks it away for Willow Glen. Lee fields it at the 11. Heads straight ahead, room to run. Lee with acceleration, brought down at the 40. A 29-yard return for Lee, perhaps the spark this Westmont squad needs.
I was just thinking that same thing. Tommy Lee going through the lanes, running a very nice pattern there, and had to incorporate some fancy footwork there too, but really just an excellent start. Probably the best starting field position Westmont has had all night.
The 1st and 10 from the 40 for Westmont. As Flint goes back to work. 2 receivers out left, under center. One in the backfield, receiver outright, and the inside handoff. Not much there for Salang Sang.
There's really nowhere to go for him, and he tried to dance around just to try to find some sort of running lane to go through, but Willow Glen had all those gaps plugged up and really, really good pursuit of the ball carrier there. And, of course, anytime you can disrupt the line of scrimmage, as this Willow Glen defensive line just did, you create all sorts of problems, and Westmont just couldn't get their blocks in order.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Warriors. Lee in motion. Flint rolling out to his left. Pressure coming. The ball is deflected but falls short. So great jump off the line, off the ball for the Willow Glen big guys up front.
And, of course, you see Luis Maciel Cornejo was leading the pursuit there. And defensive linemen, they're always taught if you can't get to the quarterback, at least put the hands up. And there you see right there, bang the ball away at just the right time, because Trevor Flint, even on the roll, had an option there right at the line of scrimmage. That could have been a big gain of yardage. So nice job there by the Willow Glen defensive line.
3rd and 10 for the Warriors. Still really looking to get it clicking on offense. Flint dropping back. Pressure coming once again. Gets it away, and that one overthrown over the head of Salang Sang. So 3 and out for Westmont as the punt unit comes on. And once again, we saw Sean Marsland with a fairly decent punt in the first quarter, and Marsland back out again. And back deep for Willow Glen, Mays and Toscano.
And now we see a cause for concern with Trevor Flint hobbling off the sideline. He's going to take a seat at the bench, trying to see if he can shake off the stinger right there, but he's never gotten comfortable trying to sit in the pocket. Willow Glen has been bringing the pressure so far, and they've just been disrupting everything.
Perfect snap. And Marsland, another fair catch called. So take over at the 21. I'm impressed early on in the season with the punting abilities of the senior Marsland.
Now he's gotten up a couple of good punts already, and of course, Toscano had a good return that unfortunately was called back by a couple of ill-advised penalties. But this one, Marsland did not outkick his coverage. That's a really, really big one. And being able to force Toscano just to wait for the fair catch, Willow Glen's back in within their own 20-yard line. Very, very nicely done.
7:42 left to go in the first half. Willow Glen with the ball and a 10-0 lead. 36-yard field goal in the first quarter, and then the 12-yard pass play in the second. Toscano rolling to his right, looking for the option. Gets it away to his running back, still on his feet, and a pickup of about 5 on the play.
Actually, if I'm Willow Glen, because they took the ball starting off this first half here, I try to speed things up a little bit, see if you can get 2 possessions for the price of 1, essentially. So I know it's sort of a basketball term we hear all the time, you running the 2 for 1, but in football, I think you can pull this off right here. They've got about 7 minutes left. Their defense is playing very, very well. Of course, they forced Westmont into a 3 and out. So I think this is something they could really do if they wanted to speed up the tempo.
2nd and 4 for the Rams. Mays in motion. Toscano looking to his right, and you see the DB trying to make a play, but Toscano overthrowing his intended receiver.
There you see Michael Nadeau trying to jump the route a little bit, trying to make something happen. And, of course, if he picks that off, he has a clear path for a pick 6. That would have really put Westmont back in the game. But, again, Toscano getting pressured, trying to find his primary read. And he's lucky he threw that ball high, because if that was any lower, Nadeau would have had a chance to pick that one off.
3rd and 4. Warriors continuing to throw. Will we see a run? Toscano on the design play, up the middle, first down yardage and more, showing his acceleration. He's at the 40, he's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Willow Glen. Matt Toscano showing how athletic he is.
And I don't think it could have gone any easier. Of course, this has been a design run that they've run a few times. But the difference is that now I think Westmont's kind of sagged back a little bit. And any time that you have a defense sagging back on their heels, I mean, it goes both ways here. You get them to more read and react instead of anticipate. And once you do that, they have to stay on their heels, try to figure out what's going on. And Toscano just read it beautifully, followed his blockers, just went all the way to the outside once he hit the second and third levels.
Out of the Toscano hold, Gomez. Extra point is good at 17-0 Willow Glen. We talked about Matthew Toscano. We hadn't even mentioned he was the holder. A 73-yard scoring scamper by the junior, Matthew Toscano. Willow Glen up 17-0, 6:41 left to go.
And just like I said, once he got to the second and third level, all he had to do was hit the afterburners and he was gone. There was just no way that from the angles the defenders had, they were going to catch up to him. It was just a beautifully run play.
I have to say that the angles were bad for them, but I think Toscano showed a really healthy acceleration.
Absolutely. Absolutely did.
Last year, Matt Toscano, well, he was a sophomore wide receiver. 52 catches for 717 yards. 5 scoring catches, TD catches. Also on running back, 25 carries for 156 yards. So even as a sophomore, showing what an all-purpose player he is. As Gomez ready to kick things off here for Westmont. Westmont still looking to get its offense going. A good return by Tommy Lee, 21 yards on the previous kick return. As Gomez sends it away, taken at the 15. Cutting around the left side, penalty markers thrown. Great acceleration out to the 48. So Keanu Phillips hopes to put it in, to put the Warriors in good field position, and I think that penalty is going to go against Willow Glen, and it will be very good field position for the Warriors.
Yeah, nice run by Keanu Phillips, and of course he almost got brought down by the horse collar tackle, and I think that's what the penalty was. But presence of mind to stay on his feet and just keep looking for the running lane just to go up, and now you've got 50 yards right at midfield, a good place for Westmont to start. Now this has been their best starting point for the entire half.
We're still waiting for the penalty to be shown by our referee, Dave Fink, as they mark off the yardage. Personal foul, face mask against Willow Glen. And Westmont with a spark of hope. 1st and 10 from the Willow Glen 39. See what Flint and company can get going for the Warriors. Flint. And a low pass, a screen pass caught by his receiver, Josh Landers. Little hesitation shown by Flint. Excuse me, Marsland, the receiver. My apologies. Marsland, the punter, and the receiver, but this penalty against the Warriors.
And a legal receiver downfield for Westmont. But again, you're seeing what the pressure has done to Westmont's offense. Flint cannot get going. And of course, he got the ball off to Marsland, who was just sitting right there. But they haven't been able to stretch this defense yet. A lot of dinks and dunks so far. And I think it's starting to get around that time where you try to waste too much time here, the game's going to get out of hand. At this point, if you're Westmont, you'd probably have to dial up at least a long toss just to show Willow Glen you've got it in your arsenal.
5-yard penalty. Excuse me, loss of down, no loss of down on the play. 1st and 15 for the Warriors. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Lee in motion. Flint with the handoff. And it's the Langsang, maybe a pickup of 1 on the play.
And, of course, there's Joseph Kafusi leading the way for the Willow Glen defense to keep it a 2nd and long. So, I mean, we've been talking about Willow Glen's offense all night, and for good reason. But you can't underestimate what this defense has done so far. I mean, anytime you pitch a shutout in the first half, you have to be very, very impressed.
2nd and 14 for the Warriors. Fans wanting some production from this offense. Flint. Pressure coming, puts it on his hip, and Flint lowering his shoulder out to the 39. We've seen some quarterbacks willing to not only run tonight, but take some hits as well.
Yeah, I think Flint was trying to take one for the team that lowered the shoulder on Landers, and it didn't really move the immovable object, so to speak. But you got to give credit to Flint. I mean, we saw him limp off the field a couple possessions ago, and the fact that he's moving around is a very good sign.
Pick up a 4 on the play, so once again, Westmont finds itself in a 3rd and long situation, 3rd and 10 from the 39. 4:30 left to go in the first half. Westmont trailing 17-0 at home. Flint dropping back. And I think that was a great play by Keanu Phillips from keeping that ball from being intercepted. Phillips not so much going for the catch as knocking the ball away as it brings up 4th and 10.
Yeah, and anytime the intended receiver has to play defensive back, something obviously went wrong. And, of course, Calvin Owen read that route very, very nicely. And he was primed for an interception there. But, of course, the presence of mind of Phillips sort of at least batted away. And, of course, another 3 and out. And, of course, I was referring to the 2-for-1 earlier. Now Willow Glen gets another chance for a possession. Marsland
into punt. One thing we've seen from Marsland, he can kick very high. We'll see if he can hang it up and let his kick coverage team get down. And as soon as I say that, Marsland delivers a bit of a line drive, and it goes out of bounds near the 3. Sean Marsland, a bright spot for Westmont tonight. Willow Glen with a 17-0 lead, taking over. 4:10 left to play in the first.
Marsland, I think that 3rd punt was his best one yet. Not just because of the distance, but it was placed beautifully right along the sideline, got the good roll, and now Willow Glen has to go 97 yards in 4 minutes, which isn't impossible. I'm sure they would like to get a little bit better field position than that, though.
No, not with that 73-yard run by the quarterback for the last score. You're listening to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. Make sure you tune us in. Check us out all season long, bringing you high school football throughout the U.S. Matt Toscano has starred early, and he goes back to work out of the shotgun. Toscano looking across the field, has his tight end. 1st down yardage and more, and the pass plays, the routes seem to be getting easier for this Willow Glen squad.
And of course, again, Andrew Mejia, once again, just sitting right there in the middle of the field, not quite as open as his touchdown catch, but you see Toscano has been looking his way for these last couple of possessions, and they're starting to build that chemistry a little bit. And, of course, that's very key, especially considering Toscano moved from being a wide receiver running back to being the quarterback this year, finding his primary targets, trying to see who he can go to as the play dictates.
1st and 10 from the 15 for Willow Glen. 3:44 left to go in the half. Toscano rolling out to his right, lofts a pass up, perfect on the money. What a catch by Mays. The chains will have to move again. Excuse me. Ben Lentz, the receiver, the 6-foot, 150-pound junior. Lentz, very similar with his frame to Mays, but Lentz with the catch for the 1st down.
And very nice play by the receiver Lentz, because he had to turn around and try and let the ball come to him. So slightly underthrown ball by Toscano, but it was only where he could get it, and he just had a good pocket of space.
1st and 10 from the 42 for Willow Glen. 3:35 left to go. And Toscano calling his own number, still on his feet, around the far side, out towards the 1st down marker. Toscano, boy, only a junior, Philip. You have to be excited if you're a Willow Glen fan. He can get it done on the ground. He has gotten more comfortable with his passing game as this game has gone on. The future seems very bright for Matt Toscano.
Absolutely, and of course, the more comfortable he gets with this offense, the more natural things are going to come in, because this offense reminds me a little bit of the spread attack that the Oregon Ducks run a lot. They have the quarterback moving around, making a lot of interesting plays, but with more repetitions and more confidence comes along.
9-yard run by Toscano, 2nd and 1 from the Warriors 49, and Mays battling hard. This has been an excellent drive thus far, despite the horrible field position for Willow Glen. Their backs are against the wall, but it's another first down for the Rams.
And the way Willow Glen's been moving the ball, starting at their own 3 didn't seem like that daunting of a task. But right now, they're in a very good position. They don't need to really step on the gas right now. They can milk the clock, just work it down to as much as they can. All they really need to do is get into at least field goal range and just work it down to 0. That way Westmont doesn't get another possession before the half.
2:20 and running here in the first half. 1st and 10 for Willow Glen from the Westmont 44. Mays in motion. Toscano rolling out to his right and dumps it off. Ball is caught. I'll wait for the spot.
That was Hutchings with the catch right there. And, of course, he stayed in bounds, which was very, very key. And, of course, they may have to stop for the spot. But, again, milking the clock down. I mean, I don't foresee Westmont using any of their timeouts anytime soon. But use the clock to your advantage. You've got a little bit left. And you've even got some timeouts at your disposal. And if a call's not going in right, don't be afraid to use those and then just try to keep the clock going. Because right now, you're in enemy territory here. 2 minutes left. Everything's lining up perfectly for this Willow Glen offense.
Willow Glen called a timeout earlier in the half. Westmont has all of theirs. 2:02 left to go. In the first half, Willow Glen on the move with a 17-0 lead. And I think we are going to ask to have some time taken off as our compatriots here in the press box. Nope, some time put on. 5 seconds put on. 2:07 left to go in the first half. And the reverse. First down yardage and more out across the 37-yard line. Mays, so, we've really seen a nice stable of runners for this Willow Glen's offense.
And, of course, what better time than towards the end of a half to bust out a gadget play like that. So Willow Glen really just showing, digging deep into the bag of tricks so far. I mean, that's not really what you would call a tricky play, but that reverse right there, hey, it's all good stuff.
The Westmont Warriors call a timeout. 1:49 left to go in the half. They trail at home to Willow Glen in non-divisional play.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go on to playonsports.com/SBP.
Kirsten Fairchilds, Philip Kern, a big thanks to all the folks here at Westmont High School for being so hospitable tonight, especially the athletic director, Brett Peterson. You're listening to PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. We're in Campbell, California on a perfect California evening. The sky still lit up with color. To our left toward the Pacific Ocean, as Willow Glen looking very polished in their first outing this season. A couple of rough spots, but they seem to be ironing them out in a hurry. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Westmont 28 for the Willow Glen Rams. Three receivers out left for Toscano. As he rolls out. Pressure coming. Now again, when pressure comes, he runs up the middle, and it usually results in a first down. This time, maybe a yard shy, but you have to imagine, you have to admire how the decisiveness, the quick decision making by Toscano. He doesn't seem to hesitate and get in trouble too often.
No, he doesn't. But you have to wonder how frustrated that Westmont defense is. They can't seem to wrap him up and bring him down.
2nd and 1 for Toscano. Dropping back, has a receiver on the slant. Caught at the 10, 5. Touchdown, Willow Glen. Jack Hutchings, the junior, on the 28-yard scoring strike.
And a beautiful, beautiful play right there. And it looks like there was actually Calvin Owen on the receiving end of that touchdown. But either way, absolutely perfect, sitting right in the middle of the field, and just cutting right through the defense. And Westmont, they've got some rethinking to do as far as their defensive strategy.
High snap. And no good. So the high snap, Toscano tried to get it down in time for Gomez, but the first blip, if you will, for Gomez tonight. Willow Glen 29, Westmont nothing. 69 seconds remaining in the first half.
Of course, if the missed PAT has been the missed PAT has been the highest level of Willow Glen's troubles. I mean, everything has just seemed to be going their way so far. And of course, you see, I'm looking at the Westmont sideline here. They're also kind of scratching their heads, going, "Okay, we've still got another half of football to play." They're probably looking up at that scoreboard, going, "We've got to get some things figured out here and quick."
Willow Glen's head coach, a 1993 Mount Pleasant graduate, Oscar Caballero, attended San Jose City College and then played wide receiver at Montana State University. Teaches physical education at the school. Out watching the junior varsity game. His junior varsity team ended up losing to Westmont. As his varsity squad with Gomez to kick it off. And once again, Keanu Phillips and Tommy Lee back to return. And the squib kick taken by an up man at the 31. And fairly good field position for the Warriors with 63 seconds remaining.
Now, this is not impossible field position for Westmont. They still got a chance for a 60-yard drive in about 60 seconds, but it's got to come back to their protection. They've not given Trevor Flint really much of any time to really pick apart this Willow Glen defense. And of course, it all has to start at the line of scrimmage. Once you take control there, that can open a whole lot of things for you. But right now, Willow Glen is winning that battle in the trenches right now, and they can't let Westmont get anything going.
After the Mark Darabertis return, Westmont goes to work 1st and 10 from their own 40. Flint, the junior, under center once again. Again, 63 seconds remaining in the half. And the dive up the middle, pickup of 4 as Selengsang with the carry.
Probably the easiest 4 yards he's gotten all night, but he just ran up against a wall of Willow Glen defenders. Now we're under a minute left in this first half, so Westmont's got to pick up the pace if they want to put any points on the board here in the first half.
Westmont with timeouts to spare, but the clock's still running. Now down to 35 seconds. Flint dropping back, pressure coming from his weak side and caught. So the pass made by Kyle Birch, the 6'2" junior tight end. And the clock continuing to run. A little curious here. It's down to 15 seconds.
I'm not sure why they haven't called a timeout. I really don't know.
I don't either. And as Westmont hurrying up just shy of the midfield line, 3 seconds too. And Selengsang driven back for a loss as the buzzer sounds. First half belonging to Willow Glen with the 23-0 score. That's the end of the first half of play. Willow Glen up here at Westmont High. We'll be back in a few minutes with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Don't you dare go anywhere. It's Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from
He
Dion.
took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just
Holy cow!
can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball.
12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons wins. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take, and there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I sack.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from
He
Dion.
took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just
Holy cow!
can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball.
12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons win. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take, and there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac Joaquin section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
Jacqueline Williamson. Her serve is over. Dug by Holt. Giblin going back to Holt near side. Cut shot, kept alive, back and one by Cathedral. And this one is out as Castanon Hill sends it wide. And the Cathedral Dons have won the title 16-14 in Game 5.
Thomas with the ball, swings it out to Norris. Cameron Taylor tried to block that one away. Norris with a strong take, blocked by B.J. Anya. Huge block. Robinson leading the break the other way, gets it to Grant. Slam dunk Jeremy Grant off the feed from James Robinson. What a play by the Stag.
Runner at third is Chavez. 8-2 the score. Bottom of the 7th. The 1-2. Popped in the air. This should do it. Cortopassi says it's mine. Now he's fading on it. And he can't make the catch, but Gaff comes in from center field and does. Congratulations to the St. Mary's Rams, a three-peat. They win it 8-2 against Franklin to take the series 2 games to none.
But this is time to run an offensive set that you've done all through the season in practice.
Yeah. And you also, you get it to your hottest player right now, just like they're getting it to Eichhorst right here. He's going to try to create some space, find somebody on the backside that's open.
Eichhorst flush out to the right. Oh, breaks free of a player. Eichhorst on his own, shoots and scores!
Welcome back to the PlayOnSports.com broadcast of Willow Glen, Westmont. This is our halftime show coming to you live from Campbell, California. I'm Kirsten Fairchilds alongside Philip Kern. Willow Glen putting up 23 unanswered points in the first half over Westmont.
And really they've done it with ease, essentially. I mean, we saw their first possession. They had a couple of mistakes, and, of course, it's the typical first game of the season, Butterflies trying to figure out what they're going to do as far as their game plan. Once they figured that out, it was all systems go. And really the highlight was Matt Toscano. Whether it was with his legs or with his arm, he has been the offensive engine right now for this Rams offense.
Willow Glen got the scoring off first, a 36-yard field goal by Jose Gomez, the senior. I think it was a bit of a surprise. A lot of times when there's a new kicker involved, the schools aren't certain of what they exactly have, and I think Gomez got the Rams off to a great start.
He absolutely did, and of course, it's like you said, even the coach was kind of going, well, I'm not too sure what kind of range he has, and they really had to scramble at the last minute because they had visions of going for it on fourth down. They decided, okay, we got to get the kicking team out there. Last second change of plans, and of course to even hit that kick. And you and I both thought it was going to be shortened to the left, but when it grazed over the crossbar, we just kind of looked at each other going, okay, that's a way to start.
Then Willow Glen came back in the second quarter. The 12-yard strike from Toscano to Andrew Mahiha, his tight end.
Yeah, and that one, of course, that was when Westmont was just trying to bring the whole entire defensive unit, try to pressure Toscano into a mistake. But the risk you take with a blitz, and this goes for any defense, you leave one guy open, and Mejia just slipped right through the blitz. All Toscano had to do was look over the middle of the field. He was sitting right there waiting for it, and it was beautifully drawn up. Mejia just waltzed right into the end zone, and no one touched him.
That came at the 8:58 mark of the second quarter, and just over 2 minutes more, Toscano broke away on a 73-yard scoring strike, and that's when you began to see Westmont's head starting to be scratched there, that this could possibly get away from them in a hurry.
Yeah, and the defense was starting to play. They weren't necessarily playing with sort of their helmets on fire in a sense. I mean, they were forced to sit back because they had seen all the moving parts of the Willow Glen offense. They had seen all the design runs, the quarterback runs, the sweeps. So they were really trying to figure out what they were going to do. And I was really starting to get the sense that Willow Glen was starting to get predictable. But when Toscano broke that big run, it was all bets were off at that point because he just ran right to the outside, followed his blocks beautifully. Once he hit those second and third levels, he was absolutely gone.
And then with 1:09 left in the game, Toscano found his receiver. No, it wasn't Jack Hutchings. It was Calvin Owens, the 5'8", 160-pound senior wideout.
And we've been calling Calvin Owens' name a couple of times. He's made a couple of nice plays on the defensive side of the ball, but really what you see a lot of in high school, players going on both sides of the ball. And of course, Calvin Owens getting involved early. And of course, that's been his only catch of the game, but he made it count with a touchdown, put points on the board for the Rams. And of course, they missed the extra point following that, but that's been the least of their problems right now.
That was a 28-yard score to make the score 23-0. Philip, your impressions of Willow Glen in the first half?
I've been very impressed because they've been able to mix it up as far as the running game and the passing game. But the interesting thing about it is they really haven't made a big play through the air. It's really been a lot on the ground. They've used the passing plays sort of to just try to stretch it out, the east to west dunks, those kinds of things. But it's really made Westmont try to play with their head on a swivel and really not able to lock in really on anything. But one thing I want to point out, though, as far as Westmont goes, they're losing the battle in the trenches, and this is going on both sides of the ball. They can't get any pressure on Willow Glen. That's allowed them to break through and go through a lot of running lanes here. But they need to let Trevor Flint have some time. That's been the big problem right here for the first half as far as Westmont goes. They need to shore up that protection, make sure that Flint has time to make his reads, because that's where a pro-style offense can be at its most effective. If he can't do it, then there's no way he can move the offense forward.
More from Westmont High School when we return. That's going to do it for the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Friday night football. We will be back in just a few minutes with the start of the second half right here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot at this.
3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen?
Jason
That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from Dion.
He took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just...
Holy cow!
Can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball. 12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons win. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take, and there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac Joaquin section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
Jacqueline Williamson. Her serve is over. Dug by Holt. Giblin going back to Holt near side. Cut shot. Kept alive. Back and one by Cathedral. And this one is out as Castanon Hill sends it wide. And the Cathedral Dons have won the title 16-14 in Game 5.
Thomas with the ball, swings it out to Norris. Cameron Taylor tried to block that one away. Norris with a strong take, blocked by B.J. Anya. Huge block. Robinson leading the break the other way, gets it to Grant. Slam dunk Jeremy Grant off the field.
You're watching Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com live from Campbell, California, near San Jose in Silicon Valley. I'm Kirsten Fairchild with Philip Kern. The Willow Glen Rams lead the Westmont Warriors 23-0 in non-divisional play. Both schools are part of the Blossom Valley Athletic League. There are 3 divisions, Willow Glen in the A and Westmont in the B. We're getting ready for the second half of the action, Philip, and I do want to give credit to the play callers for Willow Glen. I feel like they've always been able, along with the speedy feet of Toscano, to really mix it up when they need to.
No, they really have, and it's like we were talking about this off air before we came back on. It's really been sort of amazing. They've used the passing game to set up the run, and usually when you're putting together an offensive game plan, it's the other way around. You use the run to set up the pass, trying to make sure the Westmont defense sneaks up and you can go over the top. But they've used sort of a reverse philosophy on this one. But that's the advantage with the spread option. You can use all sorts of different looks. You don't really have to settle for the conventional game plan. And you really see where the big plays have come on the ground, and especially with Toscano's 73-yard run here in the first half. Again, it's really one of those things where you use one to set up the other, and they spreaded Westmont's defense out so far where they even have matchups where linebackers are lining up against receivers. And if you're a defensive coordinator and you see that, you go, oh boy, this is not what I had in mind. So Westmont's got to figure something out. Maybe they got to throw an extra defensive back in there to compensate. But right now, Willow Glen is just playing on a whole different gear.
Westmont will get the ball first here in the second half. And what has stood out for you as a positive for Westmont?
Well, Westmont, the special teams. I mean, we're looking at Sean Marsland. I mean, he's been doing his job as the punter. I mean, he's gotten off 3 good kicks. He even pinned Willow Glen down their own 3-yard line one of their last drives of the first half. So he's been a bright spot for them. But again, it just seems like when a lot of stuff is not going their way, they've really had to go back to the drawing board here with halftime. So, and really it's got to all come down to giving Trevor Flint time, because I mentioned this before. We were talking about the type of offense Westmont runs. A lot of responsibility holds on the quarterback. If he's always getting pressured, he can't make his reads, and he can't move this offense forward. And consequently, that's why Westmont's been shut out throughout this first half.
The Westmont Warriors, coached by Eric Buren. Again, Eric Buren in his 3rd year. Michael Posey is the principal, Brett Peterson the athletic director, and Matt Colder the activities director. We'd really like to thank them and the folks up here in the press box for being so hospitable to us. Really appreciate and really look forward to spending as much time covering games in the Central Coast section as possible. The Central Coast section ranges from San Francisco all the way down to a place called King City. And so many schools, different schools involved. It extends out into the part of the East Bay. And these teams located not too far from one another, as long as it's not commute traffic. As Willow Glen's Gomez getting ready to kick it off here in the second half. The Rams playing with a 23-0 lead.
You essentially could call Willow Glen and Westmont neighborhood rivals. in a sense.
In a sense. Gomez again with the squib kick. They were going for the onside kick. And it makes you curious as to what the decision making was there for Willow Glen, up 23-0. However, Westmont will take the ball where they can.
And again, I think they were trying to catch Westmont by surprise, and it nearly worked because on the onside kick, it went off one of the Westmont special teams players and almost took a fortuitous bounce, if you will, right into the hands of a Willow Glen player. So that would have been a nice way to steal the first possession of the half.
Well, non-league games are meant to try different things out. This is when you reach into your bag of tricks, and Willow Glen will be forced to contend with the field position of Westmont. Westmont goes to work 1st and 10 from their own 47. Quick pass from Trevor Flint, and he throws behind his intended receiver. That is Keanu Phillips.
But there's the idea. That's what I was talking about. You gave Trevor Flint time. He made his read, and he misexecuted the throw to Phillips, but that was the right idea. So now it seems like they've finally got a sense of, okay, give Flint time. That's the kind of reads he can make for you. And I think Keanu Phillips is kind of tapping himself in the head going, look, you got to be able to keep your head on a swivel and track the ball. He catches that. That could be a potential Westmont touchdown.
2nd and 10. And the handoff. So across midfield for Salangsang. The dive has at least come up with some yardage for Westmont tonight.
It has. I mean, it's made these next possessions into a 2nd and manageable, 3rd and manageable. But really, you can only run that play so much because all Willow Glen can do is just sit back and force Westmont to beat them with the pass, and they haven't done it. And it's not really because of any execution. It's just been the blocking because they've been able to bring so much pressure, and they can't allow them to do anything.
Gain of 4 on the play, 3rd and 6. Flint gets the ball off, caught, and Lee fighting for yardage. First.
I think he does have it, and of course, Flint having to roll out to his right, so it's more of his throwing side. But give Tommy Lee some credit. I mean, that little guy has been churning his legs, fighting for those extra yards, and really stretching this drive out for Westmont. They need every bit of it they can get.
So the Warriors come out of the locker room and earn a 1st down. 1st and 10 from the Willow Glen 42. And the handoff to Lee, who gets tripped up. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play.
There you see Luis Maciel Cornejo right there, just seeming to swallow up Tommy Lee right there at the line of scrimmage. Really couldn't shake him right there, but just disrupting it at the line of scrimmage. Tommy Lee really had no lane to run and only gets 1 yard, if that.
2nd and 9 for Westmont. Flint looking to his right, and he had to throw that high. The defense front for Willow Glen jumping, showing off their verticals, hands in the air.
And of course, you're seeing when you have to make throws and pressure, sometimes you don't make the best decisions. And of course, Tommy Lee had to try to jump for that one, but also he was surrounded by 2 Willow Glen defenders. So even if he did come up with it, could he have brought it down? Because he would have been sandwiched by those 2. And really, now it's turned into a 3rd and long. They have no choice but to throw.
10:05 left to go in the 3rd. Westmont trying to solve this Willow Glen puzzle. Trailing. Not been without their opportunities tonight. Flint looking to his left, rolling out, and gets plowed. The first sack of the night. That hurt Westmont's hopes.
No, Tyler Howe just went in seemingly untouched. And there again, you see Willow Glen bringing the pressure. They haven't been able to get to get to Flint all night up until that point. But I can tell you, right after that sack, that defense, the next time they're going to be on the field, they're going to be licking their chops because now they see they can get to the quarterback, and that's going to create a whole host of problems now.
Marsland waiting at his 39. Toscano, Mays, await the punt. And bounces out of bounds once again. So Marsland again takes the return game away from Willow Glen, but another frustrating offensive series for Westmont. Willow Glen takes over, 9:14 left to go in the third, a 23-0 lead, as they'll have the ball at their own 17.
Of course, Marsland doing his part to try to keep things together for Westmont, and he's been the bright spot for them. But again, it doesn't seem to matter for the field possession for Willow Glen. They seem to be executing every which way they can.
Toscano, who's been exceptional in the first half, goes to work. The long ball caught. A huge gain as the ball brought across the 45, and that was maybe the prettiest pass of the night, just perfectly placed to move the sticks. And once again, it's Hutchings with the catch, and got ahead of the secondary and had some room to run.
And you had to get a sense that was coming at some point. Like I said, using one to set up the other. In this case, using the pass to set up the run. And I can guarantee it, Westmont was probably thinking run just because of how much success the Rams have had with it so far.
1st and 10 from the Westmont 44. Warriors defense have been on the field a lot this evening, and the screen pass caught. And is the ball fumbled? No whistle was blown. Now they're going to say it was down. The Westmont player picked it up, but then he kind of stopped playing. And they're going to say that was an incomplete pass. Philip, your opinion?
I'm not sure how that was incomplete because it looked like Owen had control of the ball and trying to stretch out for an extra yard. I mean, if any case, they probably called the ball down.
Yes, I believe they had to have called the ball down. So mistake on the field, but 2nd and 6. As Toscano looks to his right. Pressure coming. They almost got him, but wide open receiver, and the pass caught near the 29-yard line, and that Toscano is slippery.
And I'll tell you what, we made the comment about Toscano's 73-yard scamper. That's been the big play of the game. But what I've been really impressed with is his ability to make the throw under pressure. He's had to do that a few times already. He had that touchdown to Mejia earlier in the first half, and then, of course, this pass right here to get to the first down. He has been absolutely impressive, both with his legs and with his decision-making. That's been key, especially for a guy who's transitioning from a wide receiver to being a quarterback. That was huge.
1st and 10 from the 26, 7:30 left to go in the third. And the run at the 10, 5, and into the end zone. A statement made by Willow Glen. Tyler Howe with the 26-yard score. Touchdown Rams.
And I think you're starting to see not just physical fatigue, but I think mental fatigue starting to set in for Westmont here. They haven't really found a way to keep this Willow Glen offense contained. And, of course, there again, you see the running game just finding every which hole that they can. They had their picking just to get into the second level, and he just took off.
Gomez for the PAT. It's good. 30-0, Willow Glen. 7:18 left to go in the third quarter.
And it was something that I was suspecting when we started talking about this matchup here. Here you have Westmont, a B division team, and then you have Willow Glen, an A division team. Sometimes it's just they play at two totally different speeds, and you're sort of seeing that right now. Willow Glen has got their legs under them. They know what they're going to do. They've basically executed it at this point, and it's just a whole different speed right now.
Well, and I think the Westmont defense needs to come up with a big play.
Absolutely.
We've seen them close. They've certainly hurried and rushed Toscano, and Toscano lucky to avoid the sack on that previous series. You feel like little steps would help build their confidence.
Oh, no question. I mean, of course, they need all the little steps they can get right now.
Gomez again continues to kick it on the ground, and that one, the ball bouncing over the up lineman, and it's loose on the field. And I believe we're going to see Westmont recovered at the 25. The second, well, we saw the onside kick attempt a couple of times. Is that respect for the return man of Westmont, or are they practicing different kicking formations, different?
It could be a mix of both. I mean, I'm not too sure what the rationale is other than trying to get some practice in. But again, you look at the score, it's 30-0. I mean, I guess they felt the kick return units need some work, I guess.
First and 10 for the Warriors from their own 24, left to right here in front of the press box at home. Trailing 30-0. Another dive play. Earning 4 or 5 yards. Sang the ball carrier.
And now Westmont's getting into dangerous territory because now Willow Glen's figuring out that dive play is the only way they can make positive yardage. So now they can probably anticipate for that, stack 7-8 guys in the box, and force them to beat them through the air. The way they've been getting pressure on this Westmont offensive line, they haven't been able to do it.
Flint, the quarterback, continues to run this offense. Lee in motion. Flint. Ball right through the hands of Keanu Phillips. Phillips took his eye off it. He felt the thunder coming.
Yeah, I think it was either the footsteps or he started to run before he had full possession of the ball. And really, it's kind of one of those things you always have to learn. Look it in and then go. I mean, it's a really quick two-step process at that point. And Phillips just kind of missed step one because he was thinking too much about step two.
So certainly a catchable ball.
Absolutely.
3rd and 7 for the Warriors. Trevor Flint, the 6'3", 170-pound junior. .633 left to go in the third. Flint dropping back. Going downtown and overthrows by at least 5 yards his intended receiver. And that will bring up 4th and 7 for Westmont. Do you like that call?
Oh, I do, because it's not something they've done very often. At least they had to show Willow Glen that they had it in their arsenal. I mean, of course, 3rd and 7, if you're with the Willow Glen defense, you kind of anticipate a long throw anyway. But at least Westmont showed it a little bit. That's something you got to give them a little bit of credit for.
Toscano and Mays at around their 37-yard line is Marsland. His foot's been called into duty often tonight. The punter, high snap. He brings it down, and it's blocked. The ball is blocked. Did Westmont recover? Nope. They are going to say Joseph Kofusi, who's his fraternal twin, William, also on the Willow Glen team, and another tough situation to swallow there for this Westmont squad.
It seems like everything's just snowballing at this point. I mean, Marsland, who's been one of the few bright spots for Westmont tonight, now he gets a punt blocked. And of course, give credit to Kofusi. Very nice penetration to actually get the punt blocked. But at this point, I think Westmont will take any sort of break they can get. But they're just not coming. And now you've got the Willow Glen offense in prime field position here. I don't even know what to say here at this point.
Willow Glen 1st and 10 from the Westmont 27. Left and off for the Rams, and again.
Yeah, and it seems like he's just running through tackles at this point. I mean, the fatigue is really starting to set in. You're seeing how, where Westmont is trying to make the tackles, they're having even a hard time wrapping up, and he's just running right through. So, and you're even looking at this, like you said, 2nd, 3rd levels. he's getting to him so quick, they don't have time to try to lock him in and set up for the tackle. And if you're Willow Glen, you're in the absolute perfect scenario. You can milk the clock down as much as you can. Just keep it going. Fine-tune the run game. I mean, of course, it's working pretty well today, but of course, I'm sure the coach will want to have more repetitions for the run game just to fine-tune itself, and it's working out very, very well.
Landers with the carry. The 10-yard line and the center to quarterback exchange, and Toscano picks it up. So we haven't seen too many blips. I believe we saw one once before. Certainly a blemish, if you will.
Yeah, and like you said, it's been very, very few mistakes, at least coming into this point. But I think when you've got a 30-point lead, you can sort of live with some of those a little bit. And you say, okay, I think at this point they're just looking what to fine-tune for the next week's practice and try to rectify some of these mistakes.
Center, a first team. Toscano and the inside handoff, not even touched, is Hakeem Mays. Touchdown, Willow Glen.
Very, very nice run by Mays. Like you said, just absolutely untouched. Very beautiful vision just to follow his blockers and just go right through to the outside. And Willow Glen's just run away with it at this point, and they've executed everything that they wanted to do tonight.
Marsland's been busy punting. As well in point after attempts. Gomez chip shot straight through the uprights, and Willow Glen on a roll. 4:14 left to go in the third quarter. Willow Glen 37, Westmont nothing.
It's been a dream opener for Willow Glen. I mean, you just see everything that they've done right tonight, and of course Toscano leading the way. But he's really sort of stepped aside at this point in the second half just to make sure that they fine-tune their game plan. And if you're the Willow Glen coaching staff, now you can start thinking about getting the second-string guys in, trying to get them some work. And they get experience that they really can't get even if they practiced every day throughout this entire season, because it's one thing to get repetitions in practice, but it's a totally different thing to get some game experience. That way, if heaven forbid, one of these starters is absent because of injury or some other reason for an extended period of time, you have reinforcements there ready to go because they've had the game experience.
Gomez to kick it off. And at the 42.
No, absolutely. And of course, I mean, Joseph Kundev just absolutely doing the smart thing this time with just trying to just fall on the ball, because there's been a lot of different surprises, if you will, for the special teams unit, just with especially with what all of Willow Glen is trying to do. And now we will see just how Westmont will respond.
Westmont looking for some bright spots. Lee trying to cut the corner, coming around the left side, and great penetration by the Willow Glen defense.
See, again, we've been calling his name quite a bit tonight.
Loss of 2 on the play. Three receivers out left for Flint. Flint with a quick strike, the screen, it's caught. But then again, there's just no yak. There's no yak, no yards after the catch.
Already, and just absolutely making an impact on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively. He's been doing it all. He's been very impressive.
No gain on the play, and another 3rd and long situation for Westmont. And that is called a false start. We'll back them up 5. Has been the case, Flint hustles on over to talk to his coach. .230 left to go in the 3rd. 3rd and very long for the Warriors. What's the play call? Flint dropping back. And you really have to credit Willow Glen's defense tonight.
Causing a whole bunch of disruption at the line of scrimmage. They're really causing the pressure. They're really getting to Flint tonight. And just everything that's been summed up tonight. You can see right there. There's no time for Flint to make any sort of progress moving this Westmont offense. Just excellent defense by Willow Glen.
Marsland on to punt. Mays and Toscano await it at their 36. Marsland high and takes a Westmont bounce. And down, 1:25 remaining in the 3rd. Willow Glen, well, it's been the Rams' night tonight, 37-0. We apologize for any audio difficulties we're having. We're trying to get those worked out here at Westmont High School. Kirsten Fairchild's Philip Kern, and the Rams, well, I don't know where. It's been a balanced effort from them tonight. And the run here on the near side. And it's going to be a slow time up as Westmont's ball carrier is, Willow Glen's ball carrier remains down.
Yeah, that was Grant Hoffman on the carry. You love seeing them utilize some of the other personnel there. Really, it was just absolutely.
As he's being attended to, 1:11 left to go. And first ball game for both teams, a season opener as Coach Caballero out to attend to the injured player. And while the injured player is being attended to, we're going to step away and see if we can't iron out our audio difficulties. 1:11 left to go in the 3rd. Willow Glen with the ball, 37-0 over Westmont. We'll be right back, folks.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot at this.
3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from
He
Dion.
took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just
Holy cow!
can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball. 12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons win. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take, and there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac Joaquin section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
Jacqueline Williamson. Her serve is over. Dug by Holt. Giblin going back to Holt near side. Cut shot, kept alive, back and one by Cathedral. And this one is out as Castanon Hill sends it wide. And the Cathedral Dons have won the title 16-14 in Game 5.
Thomas with the ball, swings it out to Norris. Cameron Taylor tried to block that one away. Norris with a strong take, blocked by B.J. Anya. Huge block. Robinson leading the break the other way, gets it to Grant. Slam dunk Jeremy Grant off the feed from James Robinson. What a play by the Stag.
Runner at third is Chavez. 8-2 the score. Bottom of the 7th. The 1-2. Popped in the air. This should do it. Cortopassi says it's mine. Now he's fading on it. And he can't make the catch, but Gaff comes in from center field and does. Congratulations to the St. Mary's Rams, a three-peat. They win it 8-2 against Franklin.
Just a little bit of the fourth quarter has passed. 37-0. Willow Glen forced to punt while we were away. Just a few plays took place, and we hope we've ironed out our audio difficulties. Thank you for joining us here. Westmont High School hosting the Willow Glen Rams in Campbell, California. Willow Glen's punter, Toscano, kicks it away, and Marsland back to return. However, he will let the ball be downed at the 25, and I think that speaks to how potent Willow Glen's offense has been, that Toscano's the punter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, I think Toscano's done everything except run the snack shack. So, I mean, when you're the holder, the quarterback, defensive back, punter, I mean, dare I say it, I think he is the Swiss Army knife for the Willow Glen Rams.
I like it.
There you go.
I like it. Very good. It has certainly been a Willow Glen type of evening. This is the season opener for both squads. They're both members of the Blossom Valley Athletic League here in Santa Clara County. They play in separate divisions as Trevor Flint, the junior quarterback, in his first start goes to work. Westmont looking to get some points on the board and avoid the shutout. 1st and 10 from their own 23. Going long ball, and that was a good throw, but the intended receiver got hung up a bit Marsland, the punter, looks like he ran into a little bit of traffic early on that route.
Absolutely, and now we're seeing the second string quarterback, Mitchell Sands, here getting some reps here. At this point, with fourth quarter being what it is, it's time to see what you got with your backup quarterback. I mean, Trevor Flint struggled tonight, but a lot of it really was not his fault. I mean, he couldn't get any type of protection, just couldn't stay upright.
Well, we saw some hesitation from him, some indecision early, but he, and right as we talk, the announcer's jinx come into play. There's a problem with the exchange between center and QB, but Westmont holds onto it. However, this brings up a 3rd and long situation for them. They have not been without their opportunities, Philip. They've had good field position. They've had some untimely penalties by Willow Glen, but unable to convert it into points.
No, absolutely. And, of course, it's one thing if you have a drive that stalls and you get a field goal out of it. Yeah, there's a little bit of disappointment, but you get points on the board. In this case, Westmont gets a few different opportunities, like you said, and just can't capitalize on it. And there's just something about a drive that just stalls and you don't get anything out of it. It really messes with an offensive unit's morale. It really does.
In this series, the sophomore quarterback Mitchell Sancerre taking over as Flint on the sideline. So Sancerre facing 3rd and 11. Sancerre's got an open man across the middle and throws behind him. And that will bring up 4th and long. So perhaps we will see Sancerre the rest of the way to see what he can accomplish. But nonetheless, Marsland will be called into duty once again as Westmont is forced to punt.
And actually, that was one of the best sequences I've seen Westmont have. I mean, I know the result isn't what they wanted, but Sancerre dropped back. He actually could make his reads. They gave him time, and he made a fairly good throw over the middle of the field. Now, Keanu Phillips, I think he was sort of looking around to see where the defenders were and couldn't lock onto the ball. But I think that's sort of what they had in mind when they run this offense.
Marsland gets it away. He has had a punt block tonight. And fair catch signaled as Toscano catches at the 43-yard line. 7:54 left to go in this ball game. 37-0 Willow Glen.
Stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Kirsten Fairchild alongside Philip Kern. Pleased to bring you live action. Friday night football on PlayOnSports.com. Here in Campbell, California, just not even a stone's throw away from San Jose. I think a Pebbles throw, a peanut throw.
I would call it a stone's lob. How about that?
A lob, okay.
A stone's lob.
Toscano with the inside handoff. And again, room to run. The middle, the dive, the running off guard. Mays, the running game has looked good for Willow Glen tonight.
It really has, and it's not. And the best part about it for Willow Glen is it's not just one particular guy. It's been everybody. Everybody who's had their name called on has delivered. And when you have a 3, maybe 4-headed running attack like Willow Glen's got, that opens up the playbook to do so many different things.
2nd and 4 for the Rams, just shy of midfield. This time, the swarm by Westmont, and that will be a loss on the play.
Now you see Sam Sadian leading the way for the Westmont defense. One of the bright spots that they've had tonight, and it's really been interesting because we've seen them play with a big amount of intensity. We saw it early on. They were keeping step in step with Willow Glen, but I think over time, because of Willow Glen's speed and all the moving parts they were going on, it's like I mentioned when the score started to separate. It's not just physical fatigue that sets in, but it's mental fatigue. Now you're starting to doubt yourself as to whether you can keep up with them, and it affects your play. It really does.
Loss of 1 on the play, 3rd and 5 from their own 48. And the handoff, that's going to be short of a first down. And we'll see if that means Toscano punts. However, a flag comes in. If this, let's see, looks like initially it might be against Willow Glen.
And Kyle Birch having words with one of the Willow Glen players after he was essentially thrown to the turf after the play was over. So he had a little beef to pick with him.
Personal foul against the Warriors. That'll back him up even more. As the penalty is walked off. 5:31 remaining in the ball game.
15-yard penalty on the play. Moves it back. It's 3rd down and 20 yards to go.
Willow Glen now with the ball spotted at the 34. Still, well, actually, we're going to have a timeout on the field. Timeout on the field. Westmont wants to talk this over. It'll be a 4th and long situation for Willow Glen.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championships events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Big thanks again to the folks here at Westmont High School for their hospitality tonight. Certainly appreciate the welcome mat we've had at the schools across the nation as PlayOn Sports bringing you high school football, such an exciting time of year. 5:26 remaining in this ball game. Westmont quickly out on the field. Willow Glen still talking things over. Willow Glen's only second half score came at the 4:14 mark with a 19-yard scoring run by Hakeem Mays, the sophomore. And Mays, as a freshman last year, ran track, and according to his head coach, his PR in the 100 was 11.4. As a freshman, we've certainly seen his acceleration tonight. Toscano, high snap, and nearly has it blocked. And to be downed at the 30 by Willow Glen. The Warriors 5:12 to work with to give this anxious home crowd a score.
Yeah, and at least give them something to cheer about, because there's nothing worse than seeing your home crowd just sit on their hands, because they so desperately want to cheer for something. And with everything that's happened to Westmont tonight, it's like the wind's been taken out of their sails. I mean, they come in with the electricity of this being the home opener, your season opener. This is the first game. This is a chance for the entire Westmont student body, the parents, alumni, just to see what they've got. And they've just been sitting on their hands. There's been nothing much to cheer about tonight.
1st and 10 from the 30 for Sancerre. Sancerre, a bullet, but almost picked off. Knocked away by Willow Glen's David Guardanopa. David Guardanopa. 5'11" junior DB. His name's wrong on the roster, but his head coach wanted to make sure I said it correctly. So good job. However, that ball just off the target.
And he did a nice job reading the route, too. I mean, he dives for it, and of course it goes off his noggin, and of course that's what they make the helmet for. But again, it was a nice idea by Sancerre. He's actually had some time to throw.
I formation for the Warriors. 2nd and 10. And the handoff. Room to run, and the biggest run of the night. Still on his feet. 1st down yardage, and then some into Willow Glen's territory. And that allows the fans to get off their hands and put them together in applause here at Westmont.
And Tommy Lee has been a bit of a spark plug. I mean, it's always exciting to watch him run, because his legs are always seem to be going 100 miles an hour and really making something happen here. That's pretty much the best play Westmont has had all night. So hopefully this propels them to get off the goose egg that's currently occupying their side of the scoreboard.
Yes, Westmont. Less than 3 minutes to work with. However, in Willow Glen territory. 1st and 10 from the Willow Glen 47. Room to run once again. And Westmont getting it done on both sides of the field. This time it's Langsang.
Yeah, obviously his best run of the night, and he's been one of the primary recipients of that dive play that Westmont seems to be running so much. And it would get some chunks of yardage, 4 yards, 5 yards, sometimes maybe a little bit less, but it just came at a point where the game just got too far out of hand, and they needed big plays. And while they've been getting them now, just too little, too late.
Mitchell Sincere, the 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore, hands it off to Salangsang. Salangsang cutting back and across the 14-yard line. He's still got plenty of energy.
Yeah, he's still got plenty left, and I think if you're the Willow Glen coaching staff right now, you have to be a little bit concerned about your defensive effort because they've been playing so well all night, and of course all of a sudden it seems like they're letting up on the gas just a little bit. And I think personally the Willow Glen coaching staff has been looking for something to nitpick at tonight, and I think they found something.
High formation for Westmont. Minute 45, clock running. Lee around the right side, cutting back and continuing to churn up yardage. Now Sincere comes on over to get the play and hustles back. Again, clock still running, minute 25.
This is definitely not impossible for Westmont. They are in the right type of field position to actually make something happen. I think this is the best drive they've had. Of course, it's a little bit too late, but at least this gives them something to work towards. 2nd
and 2 from the 6-yard line. Sincere with another handoff. Salangsang, is he through? He is. Touchdown, Westmont.
There he is, Matt Salangsang, finally giving them something to cheer about, like you said earlier. And now the marching band has a nice little tune to play for here. And finally, that 0 is gone off the scoreboard. So that has to feel really good.
A 6-yard run by Salangsang. Phillips to kick the extra point. Phillips booted that to the snack shack. 37-7, Westmont is on the scoreboard.
Yeah, finally some life here on the Westmont sideline. and you'd have to think, I mean, at this point, they probably knew the game was out of reach, but at the very least, they did not want to be shut out. So at least have something positive to build off towards for next week, and just try to iron out any wrinkles you can for this upcoming practice, and perhaps get off on a better footing for next week. And just a reminder to everybody to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com post-game show, where we'll be selecting our player of the game as well as wrapping up all the action from this ball game. And that's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Westmont lining up in an onside kick formation. 55 seconds remaining. Phillips to kick it off. And this is what special teams has been practicing for. And right into the hands of a Willow Glen player. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams from the Westmont 49.
Well, trying the element of surprise, but no one on Willow Glen's sideline was really surprised by it. I mean,
I don't know if that was going for the element of surprise.
Probably not, but it just wasn't. It just was not there. I mean, let's just be honest about that. I mean, Willow Glen, you'd have to think, okay, they just scored. They want to get one more possession out of it. Of course, they're going to go for the onside kick. Just the surprise wasn't there.
As the clock running down here. Toscano still stays in the shotgun as he takes a knee. And 3, 2, 1. Congratulations to the Willow Glen Rams. A 37-7 win over the home team, the Westmont Warriors. A big night for the Rams, and a number of underclassmen on both sides of the ball shining bright. here in Campbell tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stay tuned to PlayOnSports.com for our post-game coverage. We'll wrap up all the action in our post-game show, and we'll have an interview with our player of the game. That's coming up in just a few moments. Once again, the Rams of Willow Glen have defeated the Warriors of Westmont 37-7 on Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destinations for high school sports.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista. They trailed 14-0 and came back.
Again, down 2-0, facing adversity, and they've really just turned the table around since game number 3. Set an attack, great block made back inside the Maverick zone. A chance there by Bosback back inside the Maverick zone. Ball attacked there by Bosback, a second opportunity by Bosback. Lip violation call. Winner. It's over the neck call. Oh my goodness. Bosback reached over on the attack. A Maverick error wraps up the title for the Presentation Panthers. A 15-9 victory in game number 5, and they wrap it up coming back from 2-0 down match-wise and take it 3-2.
36-35 and driving, and oh, baby! Shrigley with the jam, and it was with emphasis. And it's the foul, and listen to these fans.
Do you know who's standing up right behind us? Tony Bland, who is the head recruiter for San Diego State. I think he's drooling. Somebody get that man a napkin.
Quick score on this drive. There goes a handoff to Zeller, trying to go straight ahead, but he is met by Wool. Now he breaks out to the outside, gets across the 30, 35, on the right, 40, midfield. He's running down the sidelines. He's going to go all the way as he's at the 10, 5, touchdown. Patrick Zeller stood up at the line of scrimmage and broke out to his left to the far sidelines, and he was in a foot race, and he went all the way for the touchdown. Broke a tackle and made it nice and showed his speed as he got outside for the touchdown.
Back in the backfield to the left is Campbell. Hernandez takes the snap, play action to Campbell. Looks down the field. Now here comes the pressure. He's going to be hit. He breaks the tackle, rolls left. Now he's going to cut upfield. He's going to break another tackle, and then another tackle down the sideline. Gets a block inside the 5. What a touchdown! Hernandez goes 33 yards in spectacular fashion, breaking 4 tackles along the way, including 2 in the backfield, and Hilltop has tied this one up at 29.
Grant with a big, strong defensive rebound. He brings it back down the floor again, and another slam dunk. Jeremy Grant can run the point, and he can fly. Huge dunk, 2 big dunks in the last
Bullard
minute.
trying to close it out. Deep ball, up in the air, Cram. Bringing it back, Arbizo. Cram over in 3, free opportunity. Look for Rodabaugh, no, pass middle, Weimer!
Ball game.
25-19, Foothill wins it 3-1.
Because this kid has definitely proven that he can make things happen here in this ballgame.
They will go with him. Bula Graft on a stretch run, just breaking tackles. The little man is in the clear to Tory territory. The 25, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Knights. What a run, the freshman, Bula Graft.
Ooh, I tell you what. There were at least 3 times on that run that he should have gone down or he should have been wrapped up. Missed tackles there cost La Jolla Country Day as Bola Graft, the freshman running back for Bishops, is able to take it in. And that was a determined run there, Andy.
So 1st and 10. Brandon Lewis in the shotgun. Has time to throw. And he'll fire, and he has a man diving catch. Did he hold on to it? He did. What a catch from Kendall Keys. And that may be the KBC Sports Player of the Week.
What a catch he laid himself out there, and a great throw, as you said. Read it nicely, did Lewis, and really caught his receiver on the go, and just kind of put it out there right on the outskirts of his fingertips. He laid out, and he made a catch.
1-1.
You know when a pitcher is behind an account and throws his breaking ball, he's feeling it.
The pitch is going to be fisted to second base on a liner, and the ball is caught by McGrew, and Valley Christian wins the game on a Cameron Stewart no-hitter.
Wow, what a way to go out if you're Cameron Stewart. A no-no in the championship game. If there's scouts out there, they had to be impressed by this young kid's velocity, control, and breaking ball all worked well today. He had it going for this Valley Christian team.
What a gem. He's going to give it to Tyree on an exchange against the zone, do a little 3-man weave. This is Tyrell back with it. Tyrell's going to go lob backdoor. Tyree Robinson with a flush.
Now that was nice. Very nice design play.
Uwaba back there. Bogart takes a snap. He's going to run the play. He's going to throw. He's got a man open at the 10. It's underthrown. It's incomplete. No, or is it caught? It is a catch. Wow, juggling catch inside the 5-yard line. Moliga. Was that Moliga pulling that one in? It is Moliga. Boy, that ball was deflected by one of the Falcons, and then Moliga, he lands on the ground and pulls it in. What a catch.
3 men in the backfield, back to the wing. This time inside counter to Telefaro. No, they're going to throw this one. He's got a man open. And what a catch! What a grab by tight end Joe Gigantino. He must have bobbled that ball 4 times in the air, and he was actually tipped by the defender and had the presence of mind to keep his concentration and make the grab. Unbelievable catch. And the ball at the 29-yard line of the Eagles, and you can see the defense, they're still bewildered. How did he come up with that grab?
Even with 2 defenders around him and 4 big. That's so unconventional for a guy to handle the ball so well. January with the one-hand jam.
He was not going to be denied there. Coming over was Milmo.
Bradshaw Christian's going to bring the starting unit out on the field one more time just to take a knee. 10 seconds left. They better hurry it up. Actually, they're going to try a field goal for Lawson. They're going to run out of time. Are they going to take? There's a snap, and they aren't even going to get the kickoff. They tried to hustle Lawson out there for a field goal opportunity to see if they could get her one. But it does not matter. They don't get the punt off in time. Drew Rickert just got the Gatorade shower on the sideline. Bradshaw Christian is your winner, 62-6. The final score. They are your D6 titleists this year. Here in 2000.
5 seconds left. Clock winding down. Poway has won the title. 56-0 over the Vista Panthers. The championship goes to Poway.
Well, your double wing T option offense down by 5. They're going to have to spread it out. They go with 3 receivers to the near side. That's the short side. 1 solo left. Back to throw. McHugh under pressure. Rolls out of it. Now he's dumped and dropped. And that's the last thing they could handle. And that's not what they could do. Bellerman now can't stop the clock. 4, 3, and that is going to do it. Santa Margarita, coming back from the dead, has won the Division I State Bowl Championship 42-37 in an improbable comeback against Bellarmine of San Jose. And the Bellarmine players on the field, on their knees, just absolutely dejected after playing just a gut-wrenching football
Menlo
game.
really wants to get the leadoff man aboard here, trailing 6-4. Good way to come back.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com. We're here with our player of the game, Matt Toscano, the quarterback of Willow Glen. I'm Kirsten Fairchills. We're in Campbell, California, where Willow Glen just defeated Westmont by a score of 37-7. Matt, congratulations on being our player of the game. This was your first year as a quarterback. Last year you really shone as a wide receiver and as a running back. What does it mean to come out in the season opener and come through with such a decisive victory?
Well, we had a game plan for 2 weeks because we had a bye last week, and we just really stuck to the game plan. Our coaches did a great job, and our offensive line did an awesome job. We didn't get sacked once the whole game, and I thought as a team we just did very good.
You're a little slippery back there. It looked like Westmont, the defenders, the rush had a beat on you, but you were always able to evade.
I don't know. We just put in work a lot, all practice and juking and stuff like that, and weight room and stuff. And we have a lot of good guys on our team.
Matt, not only 2 scoring plays in the air, also a 73-yard run on the ground. Then you come out and punt. You're the holder. I don't know if you drove the bus on the way over. What does it mean? Do you feel a lot of pressure being so involved in the game, or do you just thrive?
Our team lost a lot of seniors last year, and a lot of our seniors played a lot of positions. And so now me and Tyler, Henkel, a lot of our older players stepped up, and we're just filling in all the holes that we need to fill.
Matt Toscano had big shoes to fill this year. Mitch Revisa, the MVP last year, first-team All-Leaguer at quarterback, now playing baseball at San Jose State. Did you learn a lot from him?
Yeah, going through practices every day with him. I was his receiver, so I just watched his footwork and stuff like that. It was a lot of work this year with our quarterback coach, Mr. Tyler Smith. And, he just helps me, and every day just work a lot on footwork, and that's my main key that he wants me to work on.
How good is this Willow Glen team?
I think we're pretty good. Our seniors, we lost a lot of people, but a lot of people are stepping up. Fullback Tyler Howe, receivers, juniors, Jack Hutchings, Josh Landers, and Hakeem Mays are both sophomores stepping up, and I think we're a pretty good team.
Matt Toscano, our PlayOnSports.com player of the game. Congratulations. His team victorious here at Westmont tonight. Don't you dare go away. Philip Kern and I will be back with the Play On Sports post-game show from Campbell, California in just a few minutes.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista. They trailed 14-0 and came back.
Again, down 2-0, facing adversity, and they've really just turned the table around since game number 3. Set an attack, great block made back inside the Maverick zone. A chance there by Bosback back inside the Maverick zone. Ball attacked there by Bosback, a second opportunity by Bosback. Lift violation call. Waiter, it's over the neck call. Oh my goodness! Bosback reached over on the attack.
Welcome back to Campbell, California, the campus of Westmont High School for the PlayOnSports.com post-game show. Kirsten Fairchild's Philip Kern. Philip, I had a chance to talk to Matt Toscano. He really showed he's one of the best players in the area.
Oh, no question. I mean, just his entire playmaking ability. And I mean, we were talking about a guy who last year was a starting receiver and made the transition to quarterback this year, and we saw why. He made plays with his legs, made plays with his arm. But what I was most impressed about, his decision-making under pressure. He had to make a ton of throws. Well, maybe not a ton, but he had to make a few, and they were key throws. He had blitzers coming at him every which way, and he made the right decision. With this type of offense that Willow Glen runs, you've got a whole sorts of moving parts. Everything's going every which way, so you have to be prepared for anything and all possible. And Toscano executed it brilliantly. Now, of course, granted, this is only the first game. There's still a few kinks to work out, but his performance really stood out among anything else. And with all the responsibilities he has, for a quarterback to shoulder the load and to carry his team the way he did, it really speaks volumes for this Willow Glen team.
Willow Glen got out to a 37-0 lead, and then Westmont, what a drive they had, capped off by some long runs, and then the 6-yard score by Salang Sang.
And if nothing else, they have to use that as a building block for the coming weeks, because for most of it, maybe 3.5 quarters of the game, they just looked lost. Everything was starting to snowball. They weren't getting the right types of reads going. I mean, their starting quarterback today just could not make his reads. He could not get anything going, primarily because they were losing the battle in the trenches. We were talking about this from the onset. If you don't win the battle at the line of scrimmage, you can't expect to win anything else. And that's where they fell short. And it really, when you look at the scoreboard, that really tells the whole story. And at the very least, that last scoring drive gives them something to build off, so that way they can get a scoring drive under their belt and say, okay, this is what we have to do to get things done. Go back to the drawing board and go at it again next week.
Willow Glen improves to 1-0 on the young season. Westmont starts out at 0-1. A lot of football to play for these two teams, and a lot of football for us to bring you here on PlayOnSports.com. On behalf of my partner tonight, Philip Kern, our producer, Brad Youngquist, and our cameraman, David Custon, I'm Kirsten Fairchild. Thank you so much for joining us. So long from Campbell, Willow Glen 37, Westmont 7 in high school football on Friday Night Football.